Okay, we continue from where we ended. Yeah, like I was saying, um, these people, instead of downgrading the project, instead of downgrading the project from tarmac to gravel, they had other options of tarring a small section with the fund using the funds available instead of completely downgrading the whole project into gravel. They had other options of tarring a section of a road with using the funds available. Just doing a small section using the funds that are available, as opposed to as opposed to completely downgrading the project as if they don't have money. In fact, these people have got a lot of money to finish these projects. These people have got a lot of money to at least finish these projects and do them. In fact, the money is enough. The problem is priorities, where exactly to spend these particular monies. That's their only problem. They like priorities. Yeah, that's that's about Chipata Chadiza Road, Chipata Vubu Road. Now let's look at our own roads in Chipata. Let's look at Chipata. Yes, Chipata, it's believed that Chipata has more than Chipata town, as in the township, in town itself. It has more than 120 kilometers of roads, of which 60 kilometers of them, about 60 kilometers of them are tarred roads. Uh-huh. Now, Chipata, okay, Chipata, like the township roads they've been, they've quite been, yeah, we've quite seen, over the years, we've quite seen them like tarring new roads. But that's used to happen like the last time there was ever a serious project on tarring township roads in Chipata, the last time was in 2013 and early 2014 when they stopped. So it's also noted that these roads they were used to be given to Sebo Construction Company, of which Sebo Construction Company never used to do those roads of high quality and everything. Yeah, like even designs of some of these roads were not that much to pleasing standards that people can be happy about. You see, uh-huh. So it's observed that most roads in Chipata are like what we see are like two-lane road networks. Just two-lane road networks. Here you've got traffic going to this direction and traffic going in opposite directions use only like one single road, portion of a road with junctions crisscrossing each other on that in that kind of a thing. And many roads leading to different townships not tagged. Over the years, we've seen that Chipata has been growing and new compounds, new townships have been created between 2012 and today. We've seen new township mushrooming. Some of these new townships are like East Rise, East Rise from St. Anne's area, like just after St. Anne's, all the way going deep into the former like Chipata forest, all the way going to east, all the way up to somewhere near Chiziro area. That far in the mountains, you see, new townships. Those place that place needs to be serviced with things like schools, things like clinics, and things like roads, things like markets. They have to go to that area as well. It's pending, you see. Not only that, another new township that has been created is Hillview. Hillview is found like that area after Protea Hotel, Komako, Kamko, all the way up into into the Kanjala Mountain, going up, all the way up to somewhere near Referendum in Chipata. That area as well needs to be serviced with things like electricity, water, schools, clinics, and roads. Social amenities have to go there as well. That is a new township in the making. And it really has beautiful, beautiful houses. Apart from that, we have seen the creation of Maguero Road, the area they call Maguero Road. No specific name, as however they call it, a slot area, you see, with very beautiful houses, very big houses, Nigerian type of roofing. All those places need roads, tarmac, churches, need things like schools, hospitals, clinics, and etc. With a very big population of Chipata people going there, building houses there. Another township that has been created, Chipata Motel area, going down there like towards the sewage, Chipata sewage area, like where there are sewage ponds, going down further near the mountains, that side in the Dumbos, like the swamp area, like, yes, all those places need some tarmac, need some roads, need some social amenities like schools and clinics, areas, and other areas that have been created. Chipata is growing so big. Apart from that, after referendum, there's an area going deep, as if you are going to Msekera, as if you are going to Msoro. All those far, far places. They used to be like a bush, but now they are houses. People live there, modern houses. After referendum, after Nambod, after Parogate, that side going west, 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 there are houses all the way up to Nsekera Research Center. Like that place used to be a bush, but now they are modern houses. People have built. Now, social amenities like roads, water, electricity, schools, and everything have to be taken that side as well, meaning that the Chipata city has grown to an extent that it needs probably maybe to be divided into smaller municipalities to manage some of these places, you see. And what we need to see are like improved standards of things like roads in Chipata and everything. Look at Greatest Road. Yes, it was rehabilitated in 2000, between 2014 and 2016. It was rehabilitated to modern standards, high standards, but we needed to see a thing of international standards, you see. And most people, when that road was being rehabilitated, people expected to see dual carriageway type of a thing on Greatest Road in Chile. So I'm going to be using Mozi Highway in this case to refer to Greatest Road in Chipata. Yeah. So I'm going to be using Umozi Highway to refer to Greatest Road in Chipata. So what is noted is that people anticipated to see a dual carriageway on Umozi Highway in Chipata. Probably it was expected that from Lunda's turnoff all the way up to Chadiza turnoff, that road will be a dual carriageway, 4-lane, no two ways about it, no compromise. You know, I remember when Chanda Kasolo was Mr. Chanda Kasolo was a permanent secretary for Eastern Province. He suggested that the Chipata section of Greatest Road should be a dual carriageway. You see? And since and plans to construct a dual carriageway in Chipata started way back, as far back as 2013. You see? And people there have been plans all over RDA moving up and down, trying to push things in place to put up a dual carriageway. And when the project to rehabilitate Greatest Road from Luangwa Bridge to Mwami came up, the permanent secretary, Mr. Chanda Kasolo, used that as an advantage to lobby for a dual carriageway in Chipata. You see? And what used to happen was that plans have been here and there and everything, but it was noted that Motor NGO, the contractor who did that Greatest Road, who rehabilitated Greatest Road, the contractor came up with a say that we cannot expand the road in Chipata into a dual carriageway because people had built their offices, their wall fences, their structures, like whatever, yes, too close to the road. They had encroached a road reserve, in short, such that there's no room for expansion of this road into a dual carriageway, like proposed. You see? So they would rather create, they would rather improve it in some junctions, like creating filter lanes and everything. That was the suggestion that came up, and it was taken likewise, meaning that the dual carriageway in Chipata couldn't come out as it was planned. They only managed to tell business owners, like things like Zamtel, to move, to dig and move their communication cables to far away from the road reserve and everything. And it was noted that they couldn't compensate most of the people who had built buildings and wall fences too close to the road. But the rules are there that, Umozi Highway, Greatest Road, is a trunk road in Zambia, an artery, like type of a road. You see, a trunk road, like in other countries, it can be like a freeway, an expressway, that kind of a thing, a motorway, like in that kind of a thing, those standards. And the laws in Zambia state that people are not allowed to put any form of a structure, anything, whether a fence, whether a fence with grass or 200 meters. Along this road, it's not allowed in any way. But what we have been seeing is that over the years, people have been building like these things too close to the road, and it's not the same. It's not as suggested, As example, the town center, if you look at things like engine filling station, where like that area where Spa is located. Okay, that section, I can say that section between Crystal Springs Hotel and going to say up to Protea Hotel, you know, like things like um lodges and everything, like fences, wall fences are like too close to the road, too close to the greatest road itself. When the law says that they are supposed to be like 50 meters away, 50 meters away, the reason why they say 50 meters away is because it's expected that things that are built along that road should be of high standards, high international standards, like modern buildings, like nice buildings. You see, not what is currently in existence in Chipata. You see, where some of the things are like combonic, they are belong to residential areas, but they are found along the main road, the main highway. So because of that, there was no room for expansion, and the dual carriageway didn't come out as expected. They could only build a two-lane road, and they could only expand put some filter lanes in some sections, which were never there, and put some 2 or 3 traffic lights in some places. That's the only thing that could come out, and put some street lights, modernize it in some way or another, put some walkways and cycle and bicycle lanes, which initially were not there as well. So that's the only thing that managed to come out. Apart from that, yeah, but people expected that it will be a bicycle lane. It will be like a dual carriageway, but people didn't get a dual carriageway. So not only that, and it's not that there are a lot of vehicles. That road in Sparta carries so many vehicles. A lot of vehicles per day use that particular road in one day. Maybe RDA estimates can rank it like more than 2,500 vehicles use that particular road per day in Chipata. And people owning vehicles in Chipata, the number of people owning vehicles in Chipata who own vehicles has been increasing over the years. Things are not the same like they were back in 2013, back in 2015. We expect new things. In fact, most roads in Chipata are quite a little bit narrow because of the two-lane kind of a road network that is there. Even though it's a city, Chipata is the only city among the other 4. Like, yeah, in Zambia, there are only five places that are recognized as cities. That is Lusaka, Ndola, Kitwe, Livingston, and Chipata. And among them, Chipata is the only one that looks to be like a little bit lagging behind in terms of that kind of development. Mostly, it was given that city status because of the population. Chipata has so many people. Like on 2010 census population of housing, it had more than 400,000 people, which looks like it had a lot of people than Ndola and Livingston, which are among the cities. So they by the time they were declaring Chipata as a city, it had more than 500,000 people in it. Yeah, that is including the rural population living in rural areas in Chipata. Uh-huh. So, but when it comes to infrastructure kind of development, it's not that much. Like some buildings and everything are quite a little bit lagging behind. So we expect government to do more on that. Uh-huh. So like people were expecting for dual carriageways, like that Umozi Highway and a few others like Lundazi Road and a few others are those are the type of roads which are usually associated with heavy vehicles like trucks, abnormal loads and everything. If it's an abnormal road, I don't think it can even go to any. It can even use small township roads around Chipata. That's why we are calling for some of these roads to be expanded, mm, to be expanded into dual carriageways, 4 lanes, not two ways about it. That is a matter that should be treated with urgency. There's no way other areas like other towns like Kabwe, Mpika, Kasama, Chingola, Mufulira can have dual carriageway roads, 4 lanes. Towns that are smaller than Chipata itself, like Luansha, even Mpika, Solwezi, they have dual carriageways in them, but Chipata doesn't have a dual carriageway. Why? There's no way. Dual carriageway projects in Chipata should be treated as a matter of urgency. We want dual carriageways so that Chipata should match its standards as a city. It should match its city status. Dual carriageway things should be treated as a matter of urgency. RDA should look into that as a matter of urgency. Yes, they did Greatest Road, they rehabilitated Greatest Road recently, but people never expected what is currently existing there. They expected them to build a 4 lane dual carriageway. If they are saying that they failed to, they couldn't compensate people who built structures, buildings, wall fences too close to the road, such that they couldn't manage to make them move away from the road, move away from the road reserve. Okay, who allowed them to build their wall fences, buildings, and other things too close to inside the road reserve? Who allowed such a thing to happen? How did it happen? Who allowed people to build too close to the road front, the road inside the road reserve? Who allowed such a thing to happen? I think the council, Chipata City Council, is in the best position to answer this. We want answers as residents. Mm? That road is clear, it's a trunk road. It needs like a space of 50 meters away. No anything should be built along it, like within the vicinity of 50 meters or 100 meters close to the road. Should be away. Who allowed such a thing to happen? Things like crossroads, things like even SPA itself, engine filling station, Barclays Bank, Ministry of Education, Provincial Education Head Office, Office of the Auditor General, where they are sitting, all those things. What kind of planning were they? What kind of planning was done such that those things were allowed to sit too close to the road? Provincial Education Office, PEO. That is just a wall fence which is close to the road. The building itself is away. In fact, where in other towns have you ever seen a wall fence built inside the town center? That is the town center, for God's sake. How do you build a wall fence inside the town center, in the town center? How? How does such a thing happen? We don't understand. It's ununderstandable. It's not acceptable at all. There's no way you can be building a wall fence inside the town center. We expect modern buildings, in fact, modernize. Let's go to down shops. Down shops, the roads in down shops were last worked on more than 10 years ago. In fact, if not 12 years or 11 years, if anything. I've never seen anything, not even a grader passing in down shops, not even paint, marking my roads in down shops, doing road markings. I've never seen such a thing around Chipata. Down shops, roads in down shops are one of the most busiest. But RDA or Chipata City Council done nothing to work on the roads in down shops to look to those modern standards. And down shops, that's where most trade and commerce around Chipata happen. People order, like, that's a wholesale and retail place, like a downtown area. That's where most business happen, in down shops, than the CBD itself, than the town center itself. Most business happen in down shops, a second class trading area, down shops. But look at the roads there, the parking spaces, very pathetic, bad. What are you doing about it? Not even putting concrete in the parking spaces in down shops. Nothing. Crossing points, zebra crossings. Damn. What is happening? Nothing. Patching potholes. What have they done to patch potholes? Nothing. Junctions improvement. Nothing.